Hey, how's it going? My name's Nat. Let's see what's making news. A new design is in the works for the Australian $5 note, but this one won't be featuring King Charles. Here's Justina with more.
Queen Elizabeth II has been on our $5 note for a really long time, but that's all about to change.
Yesterday, the Reserve Bank caused a stir when it announced the note is getting a bit of a makeover. The Queen's portrait is going to be removed, but a portrait of her son, King Charles, won't be replacing her. Instead, it's set to feature a yet-to-be-decided design that will honour the culture and history of the first Australians.
I think this is a good opportunity to strike a good balance between the monarch on the coins and a First Nations design on the fiver. I think it's the right decision taken for the right reasons.
But not everyone agrees with the decision. Opposition leader Peter Dutton labelled the move an attack on society and reckons we should still feature British royalty on the note, while some others think famous Aussies like Steve Irwin, Olivia Newton-John or Shane Warne would fit the bill. So what do you think?
I think that it should be customised where we honour Indigenous Australians because British and Australia are two separate countries.
I think it should stay as Queen Elizabeth. I also love how they're including the Aboriginal people who are the rightful heir of the land.
If I could pick anyone to be on the $5 note, it would be the soccer player Goodwin.
The 65th Annual Grammy Awards are set to take place on Sunday. Beyonce leads the nomination count with 9 noms for her latest album, Renaissance. She'll face off against artists like Kendrick Lamar and Adele for all the biggest awards. We're also set to see performances from Lizzo, Sam Smith and Harry Styles. Oh, hey mate. Americans have celebrated Groundhog Day. It's the day when Punxsutawney Phil, the groundhog, comes out of hibernation to predict the upcoming weather. But he's got some competition. Here's Josh.
More winter weather.
Early spring, mate.
Winter weather.
Early spring.
Winter weather.
Early spring.
Winter weather!
Early spring!
Winter weather!
February 2nd in the States marks a rivalry unlike any other because it's Groundhog Day, an American folklore tradition that's typically held in the town of Gobbler's Knob in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, and dates all the way back to 1887. So what's it all about? Well, every year, this weather-predicting groundhog named Phil makes a declaration. If he can't see his own shadow, that means there'll be an early spring. But if he can see his shadow, like this year, then...
It's 6 more weeks of winter weather!
It's a lot of pressure to put on one oversized rodent, and unfortunately for Phil, he's only gotten it right about 40% of the time over the last decade. And there's another furry forecaster giving him a real run for his money. Meet Chuck. He's got his own ceremony over at Staten Island in New York. And this year, unlike Phil, he's predicted there will be an early spring. So who's going to be the one to get it right? Well, these students from a local high school are going to be keeping a close eye on things.
Susan Wagner High School, they received a weather station recently, so they're going to be tracking Chuck's accuracy over the next 6 weeks.
Now it's time to turn up the heat and turn it back down again because these next stories are hot and cold. This is Mexico's second tallest volcano, Popocatépetl, and it's erupting, spewing hot ash and gas into the sky, causing some folks living nearby to evacuate their homes. There have been 2 eruptions recorded in recent days, and authorities are warning people to stay alert. Popocatépetl is what's known as an active volcano, but that hasn't always been the case. For about half of last century, it sat dormant and only started becoming active again in the 1990s. Now to Texas in the US, and it's really cold over there. Here's a tree that got so heavy with ice that it started bending over this car. Everything is frozen over, from footpaths...
Layla, Molly, come here, Molly. Shoot. Let's go back inside. You can't walk on ice.
...to fences and handrails. More than 450,000 homes have lost power, and officials are reminding people to stay warm and indoors. And finally, to the Freeride World Tour in Andorra. And there's some pretty impressive snow sports going on here. Athletes from all over the world have come to compete for titles in skiing and snowboarding. Well, that's all from us today. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.